My name is O'Shea Renee, and I am the founder of Honeymoon. And Honeymoon is something that was sort of birthed from just me living my life authentically and sort of romancing my life a little bit. I know romanticizing our life has become more of a trend now, but it's something that I really believe in. My sort of definition of honeymoon has always been just prioritizing my own wellness and figuring out the ways that I can celebrate myself and my life. And it started with a little bit of a tricky past. I grew up with a lot of depression and anxiety from a very early age, first grade actually. I used to scribble in my notebook about how much I hated myself actually, and it's very odd because I had really good parents and was a very smart kid, had really good friends, but it was just one of those things where I had an inner struggle, and it lasted for some years and years. And throughout that, we had some traumatic mental, emotional trauma. I found that when I was by myself and I had the time to really think and take inventory of my life, that's where I more so replenished myself. I felt that it was a way of resetting, and this whole thing just was an experiment of trial and error and seeing what worked out for me and what worked well. And growing from that, I don't know, just that experience with being by myself a lot. I started to cherish being by myself. Like, I loved spending time by myself, whereas years before I couldn't trust myself to be alone and with my own thoughts. And now, like, I laugh at my thoughts almost all the time, and I laugh at the thought of just me smiling and being happy. And it was by spending this intentional time with myself. And so I kind of created a ritual in that, and that's when it became really important to me to create rituals, to create, sacred moments where I can just experience being myself and feeling whatever feels good or whatever feels bad, whatever's natural. My little tagline for Honeymoon has evolved, but what I've stuck on is self-care rituals for everyday life. It just makes a lot more sense because what I'm helping people to do really is cultivate a priority of self-care and learn how to integrate certain things into their day-to-day lives without overwhelming themselves. One of my favorite parts about the journal is the ritual part. So we go into detail about your morning rituals, your evening rituals, daily rituals, weekly and monthly. So what the point is we're trying to build consistent rituals, things that you can replicate daily, weekly, whatever that works out for you. In order to help you to feel like your best self in that moment. And so I even give you recommended ideas, so things that I like to do in the morning. Some is like to wake up with a cup of tea, meditate. I really, really love like my whole beauty routine in the morning, even though I don't usually wear makeup. I love wearing my eyebrows and lip gloss. As some of you know, indulging in a bit of self-care in a pampering format can be really, really fun and exciting, especially starting off your day. We go over like the wellness evaluations, and a lot of this is really geared towards understanding where you are now and where you want to be, but not in a way that's too futuristic. It's more so focusing on what actionable steps could we take to get you to where you want to be, even in your immediate future for some of them, and what kind of tools can we use to create habits that we can replicate and create a system. These things are really just to get you thinking about where you stand from a very realistic point of view. And I like to say that we're co-creating your rituals together, because this is exactly what I would take my clients through, and everything is written just as I would give it to them. And so we're working together in order to help you, like I said, create these tools. a large part of what I wanted to do for people is help them to understand the power of just writing down one journal entry from the perspective of already having achieved whatever it is that they want to achieve. So if you're interested in taking part of the Self-Honeymoon experiments and having me be a part of your journey, you can just go to selfhoneymoon.com or selfhoneymoonmagazine.com if you're interested in sharing a part of your journey. I have some women that have been very, very bold in expressing how they've learned to love themselves and sharing that journey with others and learning to make their message. So you can join me there as well, and we can together share in our affinity for self-love and self-care and all things self.